This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Today at Busch Stadium, it's game number 4, the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Along with Jim Hayes and Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. Fun matchup here today. Aaron Nola going for the Phillies, and for the Cardinals, it's Jack Flaherty.
Jack Flaherty still looking for his first Major League win, and if he pitches today like he did his last outing against the Minnesota Twins, he'll get it, giving up only 1 run through 6 innings. Again, looking for his first Major League win, and his opponent tonight in a similar situation a couple of years ago, Aaron Nola.
That's Aaron Nola. Let's meet the right-hander of the Phillies.
Well, National League hitters have met him this year, and they haven't liked what they've seen. This guy, one of the best right-handers, best young right-handers in the game. A 6-1 record, an earned run average under 2. I mean, this guy's got them all. Got the fastball that goes down, good breaking ball. It's going to be a tough assignment for Cardinal hitters today.
And you see the NL ranks. He's in the top 10 of most categories for pitchers this season. Matt Carpenter has picked it up as of late. Does it carry over in Game 4? We're about to find out. brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Let's hope the rain stays away. We've got baseball coming up. The Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. It's game number 4. Redbirds looking for a split. Next on Fox Sports Midwest. For St. Louis, the Phillies now 26-17, half game back of Atlanta. The Cardinals with the loss, still 5 games above the 500 mark, and St. Louis tied with the Chicago Cubs, 2.5 games back in a very tight Central Division. Beauty of baseball, that's yesterday. Turn the page, get ready for game 4.
That's exactly right. Tough loss, and Jack Flaherty will try to go the distance. Why not? Instead of a pitcher starting and going 5 innings, 6 innings, turn the page.
Well, you would hope that would be the mindset.
Yeah, you bet. It's tough for young pitchers nowadays because, 5 or 6 innings is their expectancy rate.
There's a look at his Hyundai pitch arsenal, the pitch that has been not only a major league quality, but above average major league quality. It is a wipe-out slider. Very good pitch for him.
Yes, it is. I mean, Mike Matheny even talks about it in the same vein as Carlos Martinez, saying it's the best slider among the starters.
That's saying something.
Yep.
That's Gabe Kapler, the first-year manager of the Phillies, and it's hard to argue when you're 9 games above 500 with how you go about your business.
They're a good ball club, and they've shown it.
Cesar Hernandez, Reyes Hoskins, and Odubel Herrera, Carlos Santana, Jorge Alfaro, Aaron Altair, Maikel Franco, Scott Kingery. He's been all over the diamond in this series. And the pitcher, a good one, he's 6-1, and that's Aaron Nola.
Take a look at the Toyota, the keys to the game with Jack Flaherty. We talked about him going the distance. Well, the distance, so what? If you shoot for 9 innings, you get 7. That's a good deal. Must go long today to protect the bullpen.
I think that's a great key, and then also come out swinging.
Come out swinging against a guy like Nolan. No sense in taking early. You get behind a good pitcher, and he's got too many wipeout pitches. Breaking ball, good changeup that he throws to right-handed batters, which is very unusual for a right-handed pitcher.
Your first key, I was thinking about what Mike Matheny on the way down to the ballpark might do let's say, inning 7, 8, and 9 with a lead. You just don't know about Bud Norris and Hicks coming back. A lot of question marks coming into this game.
That's exactly right.
Cesar Hernandez, the switch hitter, batting .282. 6 home runs, and he's driven in 15. And the first pitch, with the sun shining brightly for the moment.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's taken for a ball about a half hour ago, raining here in St. Louis. Good series for Hernandez with 6 hits in the 3 games. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Combined with Reyes, Hoskins, and Aaron Altair, they see more pitches than any other 3 guys in the game. Think about that.
Which then would make it tough for any starter then to go deep. Pitch counts part of the game, and puts that at on the rise.
Well, the guy that has as much ability with 2 strikes to put the ball in play is Hernandez, of any hitter in the National League.
That's a skill, isn't it?
It is. Well, it's a great approach. It's an atypical approach to a lot of hitters today. Most guys have the same swing with 2 strikes as they do with the count 2-0, and you got to protect with 2 strikes.
And the breaking pitch, 2-2. So have you been able to get your rest after all the visits from your 68 buddies?
Not really. Sleep in November.
Ooh, doesn't get the call. Where's that pitch?
3-2 count to Hernandez.
Yep.
We've said that all weekend.
And here it is. Popped up left side. That's Matt Carpenter today battling the sun and makes the catch. Take a look at the Cardinals defense with Tyler O'Neill in left, Tommy Pham in center, Dexter Fowler in right. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Carpenter, Garcia, Wong, and Martinez on the infield, and Francisco Pena is behind the plate. So Greg Garcia and what could be a carousal of various players at shortstop. It stops with him today. Carousel. I caught myself when I said it. Wait a minute, that didn't sound right.
My boy Bill.
Hold on. What? Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, you know.
That's exactly right.
It happens. I will say this, though. I don't want to see any foul balls that drop today. It's glove day here at the ballpark.
That's right.
No excuses.
No excuses even for fans today.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's ready. That pop-up, that's in his glove. She's ready. Look,
pretty gloves, too. I mean, pretty. Cardinal red. Gotta love it.
You got to put the glove on the hand to make
That's
it work.
Right.
And then sometimes you bring your own glove. You got to get a little water in you. Put that down. Got to stay hydrated.
That's correct.
And then you get the Cardinal giveaway.
Oh, the Cardinals are smart. They give away gloves that are already broken in, so they can use them today.
That's right. I imagine I'll be playing a lot of catch later tonight.
Sure, with that family of yours, you better believe it.
Usually it's not how was your day, how did the game go, it's what did you bring me.
I can relate to that, but a long time ago.
I love it. Well, it's so important to bring kids to the ballpark now more than ever. Get them interested in this great game. Inside, 3-2.
Second 3-2 count. Not good for going long into the game. It's not like a guy comes out and says, I need to get quick outs. Hitters don't cooperate like that. They have their own agenda.
Here's a 3-2 in the air. Shallow right center, and there's Tommy Pham. Puts it away. There's 2 down. Speaking of kids, average age, current starting rotations of both the Phillies, the 4th youngest, and the Cardinals, the youngest in baseball. And that probably will drop by the end of the month. Jim will have a report on Alex Reyes, but he's coming too. I watched some of that game that he threw. Tim, he was a man among boys at that start yesterday.
That's good news for Cardinal fans and the big club.
There's Alex Reyes. You noted the other day how slim down Alex has gotten. He's really put himself in terrific physical condition. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Herrera. Now 0-2. He was stepping out of the box. 45 game on base streak and hit .351 during this streak. Pretty impressive.
He is some talent who does it his way. And part of his way is stepping out of the box. His last at bat yesterday, as you noted, time and time again. 45 seconds between pitches.
You know, we're talking about how Major League Baseball, he may get a fine, but so what? It's $500 for some guy making $10 million. You think he cares? Now, the way you get their attention, strike 3. You're not in the box, there's strike 3.
I hear you.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3.
Good segue.
Carousel, carousel, and strike 3. There's a look at Tommy Pham. Could be headed to the All-Star game. He's putting together a very good year. At the top of the lineup, hitting .321 with 8 homers, and he's driven in 19. Followed by Carpenter, starting to heat it up. Jose Martinez, then Tyler O'Neill batting cleanup. No Marcell Ozuna today. Then Dexter Fowler, Colton Wong, Greg Garcia, Francisco Pena. Great series he's had, and Jack Flaherty to face a tough righty, 6-1 in 9 starts, Aaron Nola.
And you wouldn't think he'd have a tough time in the first inning, but he has. His earned run average in the first inning, get this, is 7 this year for a guy who's 6-1 with an earned run average under 2.
And the first pitch is hit to third, and Pham retired. Brings in Carpenter, Aaron Nola, his Hyundai pitch arsenal.
At curveball, interesting, talking to several of the Phillies, they were saying that the home plate umpire comes into play with Nola because they have to wait until Nola's curveball finishes. In other words, take your time. If you see it's a curveball, don't call it too quickly because it's got a lot of late break.
Here's Matt Carpenter. We're starting to see signs of life offensively from Carpenter in a big way.
Last week.
Here in the month of May, Aaron Nola is the second most wins in Major League Baseball. He's won 5 consecutive starts overall and 3-0, .89 ERA in the month of May. So Carpenter 7 for his last 16. And in the hole, 0-2. Something to keep in mind if the Cardinals do get base runners on. Nola has allowed 7 stolen bases, 4th most in the game. Certainly think about that with Tommy Pham. 2-2.
Tommy Pham and Colton Wong, if he can fight his way on there. Colton with only 1 stolen base this year, but he's almost a victim of his batting average and not the jumps he gets at first base, but he's hitting in a more favorable spot to run, hitting 6th instead of 8th.
The 2-2 pitch. Carpenter with a drive out to right, and this ball is off the base of the wall. A 1-out double for Matt Carpenter. That is what we're used to seeing.
That's smart too, hitting it appropriately to the bottom of the Reyes sign in right field. And what does the ball do? It just lays there, allowing Carpenter to get to second.
Boy, you find out some quirky things in the game when I listen to you. You know that?
Well,
I mean, you just pick up little things.
I
hadn't thought of that.
You got to hit and keep the sponsors happy at the same time. Come on.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Smart hitting by Carpenter.
And now Jose Martinez. And he looks at a strike. You know, we were talking before the game. What if you went kind of the opposite way of where we see baseball over a 162 game stretch, meaning if you were aggressive on first pitches, where a lot of teams, you know, players grind through the at bat. You're seeing a lot of 2-2 counts, 3-2 counts. What would a team look like if you were aggressive early in counts?
Well, the point is you mix it up. Sometimes you swing at the first pitch, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you take. Better the 2-strike hitter, the more inclined they are to take early in the count. All of it makes a lot of sense.
Here's a 1-1.
There's that curveball we were talking about. Home plate umpires really have to stay with that pitch because of its late break. You can't give up on it too soon, and that goes for the same for the hitter too. Home plate umpire Hunter Wendelstedt this afternoon.
The 2-1. And a fly ball out to right. Altair with the catch. Carpenter will tag up from second to third. Kubota power stats, and it was the first ever major league home run in game 3 for Tyler O'Neill. This tied the game up at 6, and a moment I'm sure he'll never forget. Home run every 8.7 at bats at all levels, and then the curtain call, and while that was going on, Stephen Barron, his first major league hit.
Tyler's saying it was the first time he smiled going around the bases in a long time.
It's great. Because of that curveball, and it's a really good one.
Yes.
You think about a ball in the dirt and really getting down the line if you're Matt Carpenter.
Good point, partner. Get off as far as the third baseman is.
The Phillies defensively today: Hoskins, Herrera, Altera in the outfield, Bronco, Kingery, Hernandez, Santana on the infield, Alfaro behind the plate, and around the horn presented by Dobbs.
The thing about it is with Tyler O'Neill, they don't know whether to shift or not. It's only the fifth at bat that they've seen from O'Neill. That was that curveball that you were talking about.
It's filthy.
Ooh. See how deep it is? It's a lot of pressure on your catcher too.
Cardinals with runners in scoring position. Last 4 games hitting .302. And the 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball, and he struck him out. So the Cardinals strand Carpenter. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. On that, let's check in with Jim.
And everybody seems to be excited about the return of Alex Reyes from Tommy John surgery, and with good reason. He has been dominant in his rehab outings. Yesterday, 7 2/3 for Springfield, no runs, 13 strikeouts. Mike Matheny told me this: you feel for the poor Double-A team that had to face that yesterday. The stuff Alex is showing is going to play anywhere. And Dan, Mike called the work that Reyes has put into his comeback transformational, citing not just the weight loss but the dedication. He said Alex hasn't just come back. Right now his stuff looks better than ever. Dan?
We just had some of the video rolling in as you were doing your report, Jimmy. Holy smokes. Wow. How about that breaking ball? See the strikeouts, 31 in 16 innings.
Those 2 curveballs that we had to look at, those were off the table.
Wow.
Curveballs.
John Mozeliak was telling me the other day, in the previous rehab start, past 80 pitches, Reyes was hitting 99 to 101 on the gun. Past 80 pitches in those starts.
And Cardinal fans are salivating and waiting.
One ball and 2 strikes. Time was called. You are a man that appreciates the finer things in life, including,
Like you?
of course, that's a given.
Boy, what a setup that was.
But how a man dresses, and I got to tell you, Jimmy looks sharp today. I'm surprised you didn't say anything to him. Well, with the shift on, no chance to get it anyway, but out of play.
You have to feed Jimmy compliments. You know, you can't throw those compliments at him too heartily. You have to pick and choose.
Well, I chose now. He looks great.
Looks marvelous.
Sharp.
Marvelous.
Isn't that one of the best things about what you get to do? You come in, do some games, but you get to visit with Jim.
Yeah, it's a fact. On the road, come to the ballpark with him. Always a treat.
Always an opinion.
Always knowing you're going to have to pay. I know we'll be hearing from his lawyers on Monday. It's all three of our lawyers.
Boy, you're harsh.
It's wonderful. 3 separate lawyers tomorrow.
Right. You're upset with me, how I imitate you. I got upset with you. And now Jim's upset.
Now Jim's in the group.
Here's a 3-2 pitch to Santana. Hits it down the right field line out in front. And a fan not wearing a glove couldn't come up with it. But I'm going to give him a little credit because it was a line drive. And he still tried to make the catch. So credit where credit's due.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do is get in front of too many line drives hit by this guy.
No, sir.
Hit a home run Thursday night's game to center field, one of the longer home runs to center in this ballpark's history. .182 home runs through his career.
Nobody on the left side of the infield. Inside corner and a strikeout.
How about that for Jack Flaherty? 3 of the first 4 hitters, 3-2 counts, and he's gotten all of them. Gets Santana taking. He had Herrera taking.
So 1 out, and it brings in Alfaro. One thing the Cardinals have done so well, and because they've had success, they haven't been drafting with top picks, but they have found some gems. You know, a guy like Flaherty, certainly Alex Reyes. You think of Carlos Martinez, and then you think about the future of this rotation. It's bright. They've got more arms coming.
John Mozeliak is certainly aware of left-handed pitchers too. Left-handed pitchers can do more with less.
It's Luke Weaver. He'll be in the fold for a long time, you would anticipate. Here's a 1-1 and a ground ball slowly hit foul. And the count is 1-2 on Alfaro. Did you go wild over this a few years ago? I can't remember, about a catcher leaving a bat for a hitter.
Never did that in my life.
Because you went crazy a couple of nights about it.
Well,
you didn't like it.
I don't like it.
You don't like it.
I didn't do it, and I don't like it. And I don't like catchers doing it. Let them pick the bat up themselves.
And a strikeout. That's 3 in a row. Brian Shapiro, our fine producer, said don't poke the bear. And I did poke the bear because I like to get Tim rolling. I mean, you don't leave the bat.
Well, there's too many. You know what? When guys come up now, you see them first time up to the plate, they tap the umpire on the shin, and what that means, they're trying to get a strike on a close pitch, or trying to get a ball called on a close pitch. And the catchers too. Some of them play winter ball together. They're patting each other on the. Who cares? Take him to dinner, for crying out loud.
The bear has officially been poked. Here's a 1-0. Good breaking pitch, 1-1. Aaron Altair, right fielder today, off to a slow start, hitting 191. Boy, both sides of the plate here early on with Flaherty.
Yeah. I love the fastball inside to right-handed batters.
And the 1-2. Struck out the side.
Inside, outside.
That's 4 in a row for Jack Flaherty. Strikes out the side. Santana. No argument. Alfaro. Inside, outside. Nasty. No score, the Phillies and the Cardinals. Dexter Fowler, the switch hitter, then Colton Wong and Greg Garcia. Take on today brought to you by AARP. A couple of home runs hit by Fowler against this right-hander.
Yeah, but he's facing a different type right-hander now. A guy with a lot more confidence, throwing his breaking ball for strikes.
Left-handed batters a .241 average against Nola. And the right-handers below 200 at 194. Fly ball off the end of the bat that'll carry to Herrera, and the catch is made for out number 1. Watch every out of market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, wherever you may be. I hear from people all the time that have this app and watch us, MLB.TV Premium. They're in Europe. They're up in Canada, all across the country. Cardinal fans everywhere.
All of Canada's got to be very happy for Tyler O'Neill, a Canadian getting his first major league home run yesterday.
2 balls and no strikes. Kolten Wong has been raising a lot of money for the folks in Hawaii. The horrible issues they've been dealing with, and today a big check was presented to him. The Cardinals actually took a portion of ticket sales and donated that to Kolten, who will give it back to those affected by all the lava and different things happening in Hawaii.
Horrible volcanic movement.
Fly ball into left center. 2 away. And the batter will be Greg Garcia. Talking about fines and guys stepping in and out of the box. You also have players that hear all the time from Major League Baseball about their uniforms and what is worn with the uniform. So for instance, Kolten Wong is wearing a sleeve to try to bring awareness to Hawaii. Jose Martinez had a sleeve for Venezuela that he cannot wear anymore. And for the Cardinals, supposed to be red, white, navy, or black on the arm sleeve. MLB is the uniform police, and so that technically what he has on right there is a legal sleeve. Ozuna wears the fluorescent yellow, and a ground ball that's hit to the right side. If you hit, wear whatever you want. They'll pay the fines. Take us with you. Fox Sports Go. Download the app, and it's presented by T-Mobile. Speaking of Canada, Canada's shirt right there on that gentleman, enjoying the breeze coming in.
I've never met someone from Canada who wasn't extraordinarily nice, ever. I know that's a blatant statement, but it's certainly bodes well in Canada. It's such a nice group of people in Canada, north of.
I did hockey for so many years.
Yeah? Did you go to Edmonton?
Oh, yeah.
I would love to see a hockey game in Edmonton.
Give you one bet. Well, any Saturday night in a Canadian city for hockey, it's an event. It's really cool.
It's a national event, right?
It's awesome. hockey night in Canada on Saturday nights. Good pitch, tied him up. Carpenter to his left, and Flaherty 7 up and 7 down.
Again, Flaherty coming inside. You got to love that, tying the right-handers up. We talked about Dave Allen, the pitching coach of the New York Mets, who said that the one thing that he would love to see from his pitching staff is to lead the league in hit batsmen. Now, he didn't mean that in a mean way. What he means is that his right-handed pitchers are pitching inside the right-handed batters. Pitchers have really gotten away from that. It's good to see Flaherty do that today.
Here's Scott Kingery, 8th place hitter. And just got a text from one Larry Walker who says, Tim's right, Canadians are amazing. Wonder why Larry would say that.
Well, Larry, another example of that. I mean, how can you meet a nicer guy than him?
Incredibly nice man. And an incredible baseball player.
Oof.
Who I think is starting to get more momentum for the Hall of Fame.
Yes, that's true.
And he should. In my mind, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
You can't penalize a guy for playing at Coors Field. Can't penalize him. And when he was in Montreal, he put up numbers.
Yeah, I mean, numbers are exactly. He put up similar numbers with the Expos. Even though he never had the chance to play in PHI.
Some cold nights there, I bet.
Oof. Wind blowing out. Wind blew out at Parc Jarry, which was the field of the Montreal Expos before they went into Olympic Stadium in 1976. And Willie McCovey used to come in there, and there were fans who used to fill the stands, particularly in right field, because the wind used to blow out. And it was a public park prior to it being a place where the Expos played. And Willie McCovey would come in and hit them in the pool, and everybody would get out of the pool, and after McCovey hit the batting practice, they'd get back in the pool. Yeah, right. It was dangerous.
That's great. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Nola. Soft liner to Colton Wong. That's 9 up and 9 down. Coming up, Francisco Pena, no score. And what a series he has had. 6 for 8 with a home run.
Also had a double, first 2 major league extra base hits. tell you, before Francisco got on a tear offensively, he was known as Pena. Now it's Frankie.
Frankie, huh?
Everything's so nice when you're hitting. Players are like that. Players are fans too. I'm with you, win or tie.
That's right. No truer statement there.
Orlando Cepeda used to do that all the time. He said, you know, no, Timmy. You're not Timmy now. You're McCarver.
Join us for Ritz kickoff to summer weekend, June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Friday, June 1st, 30,000 fans, 16 and older. Receive a stainless steel tumbler featuring Yadier Molina, courtesy of Apple Vacations. Get a gold or a silver Yachty tumbler. That's June 1st, cardinals.com/promotions.
A guy who was honored all weekend here, and rightly so, Bob Gibson, used to be Bob and Bobby to his teammates. To the opposition, I never heard anybody say Bob. It was Gibson. And it was said with about 60% fear, 30% respect, and 10% wow.
Wonderful having him and rest of the 68 team here this weekend. You know, you never know who is watching the games, right? And a lot of the voters that look at the Hall of Fame, as Pena hits it into center, they scan through various games throughout the day. And I hope the voters take a harder look at Larry Walker, who was an MVP, 3-time batting champ, 7 Gold Gloves, 5-time All-Star. Now, if you want to take it to the sabermetric look at his career, his WAR, wins above replacement, was 72.6. That is an astonishing number. He needs to have a harder look for those that vote for the Hall of Fame.
If you're looking defensively, one of the best throwing arms among outfielders of his time.
And I know you love base running, and there was never a better base runner in the game when he played.
An uncanny base runner who always took chances and knew when to take chances. And revered in this city, along with a few other cities, Montreal, Denver. What a player.
First game here as Jack Flaherty digs in. He struck out and got a standing O, and he said, I could not believe it. And a base hit into right field. The first hit for Jack Flaherty in the big leagues.
They're going to ask for the ball, but I think that should be banned.
Oh.
The first ball for a pitcher, they're asking for the ball, and they'll get it. But I mean, come on. How important is that unless it's for a guy like Adam Wainwright or somebody like that who could swing the bat? Of course, no disrespect to Ryan on that, but it's just tradition.
Oh, give him the ball.
They did. They did. I knew they would.
Here's Tommy Pham. 2 pitches that he has seen. He's grounded out and also popped out.
Both pitches inside from Nola. Now I get all the Cardinal pitchers mad at me for saying that.
I'm mad too, but I'm going to get over it.
As a representative of the pitching
I'll
staff.
represent them, and well, we'll
another
have another
thing you could tell your lawyer for tomorrow.
That's number 4 now. So here's Carpenter, who doubled back in the first inning. The breaking ball, a beauty. The Kia drive to success. Matt Carpenter, his last 5 games. Big numbers. He's got 23 hits on the year total. 14 have gone for extra bases. And the 0-1 pitch.
After that double his first time up on a fastball, Nola comes back with 2 breaking balls to start him off his second at bat.
Second baseman in shallow right, Cesar Hernandez. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Well, he's got some movement with that pitch, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Just natural stuff. Nasty.
A lot of guys have the stuff, and then all of a sudden they figure it out. They get relaxed or they get confidence, and they put it all together, and that's what we're seeing here. Another curveball that Carpenter just got a piece of. So we throw every single baseball out if it hits the dirt, and you don't want to give a pitcher on his first major league hit that ball. Okay.
I'm going to be chastised by everybody in the Cardinals.
And you should be.
The pitchers.
No, everybody.
No
one agrees with you.
No, the regular players will not say anything. They'll agree with me.
2-2. So bats left standing by the catcher.
Should be banned.
Hitter picking up the face mask of a catcher.
Should be banned.
And the first base hit by a pitcher.
If you give him the ball, it should be banned. All of them.
Tim loves this beautiful game of baseball and the camaraderie with it. The togetherness.
Another curveball. 5 out of 6 curveballs to Carpenter.
What do you think? Does it lean itself to having one more if he's done it that much on 3 and 2?
I don't think so. I don't know. It's a guessing game sometimes.
3-2 curveball. I'm not going to ask you why, because I got yelled at the other night for that.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Why would you do that, Tim? Well, I don't know.
Coming inside to Odubel Herrera.
That's right.
It was just time to come inside. It's instincts. Sometimes you just can't explain it.
Mound visits banned as well for you.
Absolutely.
I'm with you on that one. Sometimes. Got the fastball and a base hit into right. Flaherty to third. And runners at the corners. Really good at bat there by Carpenter.
Yeah, that's almost what you have to do. That was a fastball, by the way. So 6 out of 8 pitches, and 6 were curveballs. But when a team is playing the shift, you have to find the seam. It's gotten so that hitters hitting against the shift, it's like when you find a gap, usually you're talking about right center or left center. Not so for guys with shifts. Now the gap is in the infield.
So 2 outs and 2 on for Jose Martinez. He's 11 for 22 in this spot this year. Carpenter's starting to sting the ball.
Sure is.
Cardinals need that. Martinez fly to right first time up. And the gap for him is in left center. Also the right side of the infield. He's adept at taking the ball the other way. Oh-2, and it backs up and he strikes out. The breaking ball. So Nola has struck out 2. Flaherty back to the mound when we come back. Golf's strongest field competes in the PGA Championship. Limited tickets remain for Monday's opening day through Thursday opening round. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see golf's greatest. Bill Reeve has done an amazing job to get the course ready as well as showcase the city to golf fans. PGAchampionship.com. Tyler O'Neill is in the game in left field. Got the start today, and with more on that, let's check in with Jim.
Marcell Ozuna, Dan, is going through a rough stretch. Mike Matheny's given him a day. Mike said this of Ozuna: feels like he's close, but he's having trouble getting it to click. He needs a mental break. So Tyler O'Neill got the start, as you guys talked about, had his first big league homer yesterday, tied the game up. O'Neill told me, I didn't get it all, but I got enough. That's why I lift. Dan?
Jimmy, did he get the baseball?
He did get the baseball, had to give up a signed bat. He feel like he got the better of the deal, and he said that ball will go along with his first major league hit, which he got the day before. Both will go to his mom.
Good stuff. Now, is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
You're all about that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Here's Marcell Ozuna. Sometimes you need that mental break. Long season. Jack Flaherty has seen 9. Is not allowed a hit. He has struck out 4.
Only one ball hit out of the infield, and that was Reyes Hoskins on a fly ball to Tommy Pham as the second hitter of the ball game.
And a breaking ball drops in for a strike. Both sides of the plate, good fastball. Talked about his exceptional slider. He's sharp today. Little change up there. He's only had 4 of 10 first pitch strikes. And the 0-2 misses in.
I think Dan, of Ray Miller, a former major league pitching coach, whose mantra was work quickly, throw strikes, change speeds. A lot of wisdom in those 3 points.
Check swing, and he went. Strikeout number 5. Mike Maddox has to love what he's seeing here from Jack Flaherty. Reyes Hoskins, as Tim mentioned, fly to center. Only ball that's gotten out of the infield against Flaherty thus far. So he's retired 10 in a row, and this has been the longest streak he's ever had in his big league career. And a high fly ball, deep left field, and this one is gone. The first hit allowed. It's a home run. Hoskins, his 6th of the year, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia.
You talk about a guy going up, looking in one area, looking one pitch fastball, and getting it.
Hit that a long way. Chevy Fox Tracks. Let's take a look at the pitch.
You
Watching
could see
Flaherty, he knew it.
Yeah, Flaherty turning away immediately. He knew that ball was hit far enough for a home run. Ball's not carrying it at all here at Busch, but that one did.
Especially the first month, it was so cold. Guys would barrel one up and caught at the track. It was measured at 431 feet. Why do guys have on-base streaks and hitting streaks? Well, think about the fact that they're very good hitters, clearly, but those that can run, especially a left-handed batter, can drop down a bunt, way to extend it. 3-0.
Get back on track if you're Ryan. Don't want to let a home run get you out of the strike zone. 3 straight balls since the home run pitch to Hoskins.
3-1. Herrera, he hadn't been doing this in the previous 3 games, but he's backing away as the pitch is coming to the plate. He's done that a handful of times today.
He's just, we talked about it. I mean, he walks to his own drummer.
Three and 2.
Good breaking ball and a fastball count.
Three-two pitch and a grounder. So Flaherty comes back to get him from 3-0 to the ground out. Saturday, June 2nd, 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a Cardinals Saturday alternate jersey with embroidered front logo, courtesy of Scott Credit Union. Also, before the game, it's photo day here at the ballpark. Get here early. That's at cardinals.com/promotions. Saturday, June 2nd. Carlos Santana struck out back in the 2nd inning. Flaherty has struck out 5, and he struck out the side in the 2nd inning. Way outside. Here's a 1-0. Did not go. 2 balls and no strikes. You can see why he would do that. Really an exaggerated shift here with Carlos Santana. Garcia, the shortstop, almost behind the bag at second base.
I don't know if I'd do that, though, with 2 out and nobody on. I mean, so you got a single. However, to lead off an inning, then it makes sense. Not with 2 outs.
I would say I would completely agree with you if he was the 8th place hitter. but he could
If he
get
were
on.
the 8th place hitter, they wouldn't be shifting like this.
Well, let me finish the point here, Tim.
Okay.
Let's say he gets
I
on.
thought I'd jump in there early to
well, then you have
crush your point before you made it.
you have the 5th place hitter, and then he could do some damage.
Nah. 2 out, nobody on, though. You don't want to be bunting for a base hit. So you get to first base. It's going to take 2 hits to score you. A guy like this, guy's hit 2 tremendous home runs in this series. I mean, come on.
Looks like this is by design. The Phillies stepping out late against Flaherty. See, he's getting a little frustrated as he backs away.
You can add this to the banned list, too.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, sir, brother. I agree with you totally.
3-2 pitch. And he walked him. So here's Alfaro, who struck out back in the 2nd inning. First walk issued by Jack. It's above the knee. That's Hunter Pence style right there. So 2 outs and a runner at first. Alfaro at the plate. And the first pitch is strike.
How do major leaguers wear their pants? You can look at Alfaro. He's got them all the way down almost to the bottom of his shoes. And Santana almost above the knee.
You know who loves the Cardinal uniform? One Keith Hernandez. He talks about it all the time. He loves it. He said it's the most beautiful uniform in sports. He used to, show the stripes. You can't see it there on Martinez because he's covered it up like Silent George, his teammate George Hendrick. Remember, George was one of the first guys that would wear the pant leg low. I like seeing the stirrup.
That's what it's there for.
Waves at that pitch way outside.
That's a wicked slider right there.
6 strikeouts for Flaherty. National leaders in cancer. By Steel Outdoor Power Equipment. Pick your power, fuel, or battery with Steel. Search STIHL. And by Toyota, let's go places. Along with the Cardinals Hall of Famer Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. See that usual familiar number 6 at the ballpark wherever we're at, whether it's home or road. A fan has got to Stan the Man jersey on.
Hey, what do you say? What do you say, Dan? What do you say? Hey, Stan the Man. Hey.
That's pretty good.
Hey, not bad, Dan. Not bad.
Here's a baseball card signed. Now go away. He was the best.
The best. Touched so many lives here in St. Louis.
Oh, man.
On the field and off.
And still even today.
Mm-hmm.
Used to carry a stack of cards with him, signed. So many fans would come up and want an autograph, want his time, and he was at dinner or wherever the place may be in
dinner
town.
Usually at his restaurant.
Yeah.
He had 2 locations for his restaurant, one on Chippewa and one on Oakland, I believe.
And he always wanted to make sure the fan was happy.
Mm-hmm.
So he kept a bunch of cards with him, and they were signed.
So one thing about Stan Musial, he was an extraordinary businessman.
Oh, yeah.
Had a great acumen for business.
Think about his longtime business partner after the restaurants, but that was Dick Zitzman, who does a lot of work with you and Bob Gibson and Red Schoendienst. And Dick has some amazing stories about everybody, but certainly the great Stan the Man.
Hey, what do you say, Dick? What do you say?
The 2-2 pitch. And a base hit into center. Watch out, umpire. Coming right at you. They muscled this out to center.
High fastball. 3rd major league hit for Tyler O'Neill.
Latter stages of Stan's life every day. Lunch at the MAC, the Missouri Athletic Club.
Really? Mm-hmm.
3 infielders on the right side, and now Dexter Fowler. He's flied to center.
Cardinals trying to bunch some hits. At 1st and 3rd, nobody out is one of the better ways to score multiple runs in an inning, with the Cardinals trailing by 1.
Seen Fowler a lot of fly balls this side of the plate to left field.
Mm-hmm.
The check on O'Neill.
A lot of hitting instructors teaching hitters to hit the ball in the air. I just don't buy that. Guy like 3rd baseman for the Chris Bryant of the Cubs. It's natural to him because he's always done it. It's not natural to other hitters. I mean, you learn how to hit line drives when you're young. That's why you sign. Now all of a sudden you got to hit under the ball. Lazy fly balls. There's a lot of outs for pitchers on lazy fly balls.
Chris Bryant has a left-handed swing.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's where that left-handed swing becomes your nemesis. The left-handed swing the other way, because Dexter Fowler does not have the power to hit the ball out the other way unless it's a Wrigley wind blowing out day. But for the most part, he is not a long ball hitter to left field. That's an out for him.
Very close at first.
Ooh.
Chris Bryant, his father read Ted Williams' book, The Art of Hitting, and was his coach as a young player coming up all the way basically up until the draft. I'm sure you've read that book.
I have not.
I'm sure you have not read that book.
That's correct.
I've read that book. You've read everything. And
No,
you
I
haven't read
haven't.
that book?
No, I have not read that book.
Huh.
I talked to Ted when Teddy ball game at the All-Star game in Baltimore in 1992. We had him on the air. Sean McDonough and I for CBS. Ted Williams came in screaming at me, talking about, so you want to pitch Barry Bonds inside, huh? Yeah. You got to stay away from that guy. So I said, you know, I signed for this to be excoriated by Ted Williams.
It's great. The 2-1 pitch. Instead of check on O'Neill, had 50 stolen bases in his minor league career.
And when Ted said something like that, he was not kidding. He had heard me talk about that on the air about Bonds. Well, Bonds, there were no gaps in his swing. I mean, he could hit anything. And I happen to say that during this particular stretch, if I were a pitcher, I'd pitch Bonds inside, crowd him, ball off the plate. Well, Ted heard about that, and I was not treated nicely by Mr. Williams in the booth that night in Baltimore.
3-1
that's
pitch.
Life.
And a walk to Fowler.
There we go. Keep the line moving. Bunch your on bases.
So the first two have reached. Fox Sports Midwest proud to support Yadier Molina's Foundation for Flavors of Puerto Rico, presented by Rums of Puerto Rico. Proceeds from the charity will benefit victims of Hurricane Maria. Visit YadierMolinaFord.com for more info. Good cause. Colton Wong is fly to center. 0 for 1 today. And he pulls it foul. You used to do a lot of the interviews with Hall of Famers, and they were used in the Hall of Fame, correct?
It was a show called Greats of the Game, and in 1985 and 86, I did that for Major League Baseball. I was at the Hall of Fame, not as a member of the Hall of Fame. I was just there.
Yeah.
And interviewing all the Hall of Famers. I had a ball. One of the great things of my life.
I'm
and
jealous.
Ted was one of them.
I was curious about that.
In Winter Haven, I asked Ted. My last question was, if you had it all to do over again, would you have been nicer to the press? And his eyes watered, and he said, yes, I would have.
High chopper towards second. Fowler, smart base running. If he can stay alive, he is. A run will score. Fowler to third, and the game is tied. That's a heads-up play.
It's a heads-up play by Derek Fowler. Absolutely. Avoiding the tag and then interfering legally with the throw to second by Santana. Watch. Now he's still in the baseline, and that's what causes the ball to get by Kingery. Allowing O'Neill to score and tie the ball game. That's excellent base running by Fowler.
Boy, you see it so many times. Guys continue to run and run right into the glove of the second baseman.
Right.
Infield in for Greg Garcia. And the pitch a ball, so it's a fielder's choice. An error on Santana. No RBI.
I think defensively what we've seen in this series is if you can make Santana throw the ball. He's made 2 errors on throws.
Into left and out of play.
And if you can make him throw the ball, you got a pretty good chance of something bad happening defensively for the Phillies. Throwing error in game 2 of this series.
Put the ball in play.
As you stated so appropriately 2 nights ago.
Things happen. Motion, activity, errors. Here's a 1-1. Out of play, 1-2. So O'Neill scores the run on the air. Remember, Tyler O'Neill was traded for Marco Gonzalez. He's been working in the rotation for the Mariners. 3-3, 4.66 ERA for Marco.
From Fort Collins, Colorado. He did the game that was his debut.
Base hit into center. The Cardinals have the lead. Greg Garcia with the infield in. A base hit up the middle. 2-1.
Is there a feistier guy on the Cardinals with 2 strikes than Greg Garcia? You just can't put him away. Fowler being congratulated, as he well should, on that good base running. Nola trying to get inside on Garcia, and Greg said, not this time. Cardinals take the lead.
Francisco Pena, 2-1 Cardinals, 1 out. 4 of the 5 hits for the Cardinals today have been with 2 strikes. Winds up to be career RBI number 50 for Greg Garcia, and his first since May 5th against Chicago. Did you sit down with Stan for that show?
I did not, and I regret that.
But you had Mays.
I went to Mickey Mantle's house in Dallas to interview Mickey in his backyard.
Mays, I guess.
Willie, yes.
Hit and run and a foul ball.
Willie Stargell.
Pops.
Ferguson Jenkins. Billy Williams. Ron Santo.
I'm jealous.
Even though Ron was not at that time in the Hall of Fame, but he ultimately became a Hall of Famer back in 2012.
An Enos Slaughter jersey here at the ballpark. Don't see that very often.
Scoring the winning run in the 1946 World Series against Ted Williams' Red Sox.
A beautiful curveball there, and he strikes out Pena. The Mad Dash.
Matter of fact, the Mad Dash, right. That was in Game 7. Johnny Pesky had a tough time getting it out of his glove. The ball hit by Harry Walker. Mad Dash by Slaughter. Ted Williams, by the way, went 5 for 25 in that World Series. And he said that was one of his major regrets. The only time he had a chance to play in the World Series and didn't do well.
And the Cardinals, by the way, shifted in that series against Ted Williams.
Right. A good point.
So it's not like this is brand new. There was some shifts. Then there was, some teams would shade, but they shifted against Ted Williams. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Jack Flaherty. 1 ball, 1 strike. This will be the 24th pitch of the inning coming up. One ball and 2 strikes. Win with another breaking pitch. 2-2.
That error probably responsible for both runs the Cardinals scored, because Fowler goes to third. That brings the infield in.
Good point, yeah.
For Garcia's base hit up the middle. Had the infield been back, maybe a chance for Hernandez to knock it down. But with the man on second, Fowler wouldn't have gotten to third in that situation. So a lot of things happened in this half inning.
Back-to-back strikeouts, but the Cardinals get on the board. Put the ball in play. Something may happen. It did. And the Cardinals have a lead. of the Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Jack Flaherty, he was perfect the first 3 innings. He had struck out 4. He has struck out 6 today. He has been sharp. Our friend Benjamin Hockman said that he heard us talking about Stan at the MAC, and he said, I wrote about that in my new book, The Big 50, which is out now. The men and moments that made the St. Louis Cardinals. Benjamin Hockman writes for the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Very nice.
No balls and 2 strikes.
Good combinations that Flaherty has featured. Fastballs in, breaking balls away.
Here's a 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's 7 for Jack Flaherty.
Get ahead with strikes, get them out with balls. That's a good combo for any pitcher. Good curveball.
That breaking pitch has been on point today. Popped up off the bat of Franco. Pham calls off Colton Wong and makes the catch, and there's 2 away. 5 pitches and 2 outs for Jack Flaherty. I'd like to see that after the pitcher's been given a lead. And it brings in the 8th place hitter, Scott Kingery. Kingery is grounded out to short, 0 for 1. Made that error yesterday and then came up with one of the biggest hits, if not the biggest hit in the game, the triple off the wall and left off of Holland.
That tied the game, and then he scored what was to be the winning run for the Phillies in the 8th inning.
Here's a 1-1. 1-2. Flaherty trying to pick up strikeout number 8. And he does. Looking. Kingery didn't like it. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings for Jack Flaherty. Coming up, Tommy Pham, Matt Carpenter, and Jose Martinez on a Sunday afternoon at Busch.
to offer heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
So the top of the lineup for the Cardinals, and that means Tommy Pham, Matt Carpenter, and Jose Martinez. Pham has seen a total of 2 pitches. He's grounded out to third and also popped out to first. We had rain this morning here in St. Louis all the way up to about noon, and now it's turned into a gorgeous day here at the ballpark. Along with Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes with us as well. Big numbers for Pham against the Phils. And he gets a breaking pitch and a strike. I think with you in the booth and the Phillies in town, be a good guy to bounce this off of, but a lot of talk in the sports world about betting this past week and opening it up, the various professional sports. It got me thinking about Pete Rose, if that would change anything, anybody's look at him. The writers can't vote because he's been banned, so it's not up to the writers whether or not he gets in. He's banned from the game.
Right.
I just wonder if that may change.
He'd have to be taken off the banned list.
Right.
And then voted in.
I just wonder if that would change the thought process concerning Pete Rose.
I don't think so. I mean,
I happen to agree. Yeah.
Offhand, I doubt that that would happen because it was illegal when Pete did it.
The 2-2 pitch.
And plus, Pete, you know, went for about 8 years without telling the truth.
What kind of teammate was he?
Oh, fabulous. Wonderful. Excellent. Great. Played with him 1 full year in 1979. What a worker at his craft.
I bet.
Ooh.
Strikeout of Pham, and that's 5 today for Nola.
Pete Rose would take his game bat after a game and take it into the clubhouse and get alcohol and see the spots where he was fouling balls off, and alcohol off the spots of the, and most of it was on the barrel of the bat. He had a lot of them on the barrel. Over 4,000 hits, of course. But he would actually get alcohol and rub off the spots, but remember and take that into the next game. I've never seen, you know, it was,
That's fascinating.
It was so advanced. It was ridiculous.
I remember covering the Cardinals a long time ago, probably 25 years ago, and walking into the clubhouse of the Padres, and there was Tony Gwynn with a beer and his brother talking about the game and watching video. And it was 25 years ago. Guys didn't do that 25 years ago.
No.
And how that's changed the game as Carpenter beats it out. No, they're going to call him out. The Cardinals.
I think he was safe. I think this will be overturned. This to me is a no-brainer, but Carpenter not a fast runner. That's one of the weird things about the shift. Hernandez was so deep into shallow right field. I don't know. I don't think he looked out there.
Yep.
But you know,
well, my point was the greats of the game and how they practice their craft.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say. None more diligent in that than Tony Gwynn.
Jose Martinez with 2 outs, 2-1 our score. Home half of the 5th. Freeze fan right there. He wasn't born when David was doing his stuff in 2011.
I forgot this, but one Pete Rose story. The Phillies clinched on a Mike Schmidt home run in 1980. Clinch a division in Montreal. Pete said, going back on the bus, I'm playing tomorrow, Dallas, telling Dallas Green, the manager. He had 2 at-bats, and I was going to play. I came out of the booth, and I had not played for the Phillies defensively that year. And I told Dallas, if Pete gets on this time, I'd like to pinch run for him. In my last game as a player, I pinch ran for Pete Rose.
Wow.
In 1980, last game of the season.
People don't understand you were doing both. You were available to play, but also broadcasting.
I had a post-game show in uniform. I'd go right to uniform, wired up. Harry Callis would throw it to me. And even if the star of the game was the opposition, I interviewed him. It was unbelievable.
Will be in town. That means Mike Moustakas, and the Royals head to St. Louis. Cardinals swept the season series a year ago, all 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest. I got to go back to something just for a moment.
What?
Just for a moment. As Flaherty will deal with Aaron Nola. He struck out 8. I don't think people would believe that you were in uniform, a member of a club, and then still part of a broadcast crew as well.
I know it sounds weird, and I doubt that it's ever been done prior to it. I know since then,
and it never will. I can
it was a bill.
now.
It was a Bill Johnson. He asked me if I would do that. I said sure. I said, well, how do I change? He said, you won't change. Keep the uniform on, and if the star of the game comes from the other side, do the interview. So I interviewed players if they were the star of the game, and this is a team that's fighting for a pennant, for crying out loud. It's amazing.
What did your teammates think, though?
Well, that's a good point. I don't know.
They just let it go, huh?
Yeah, they just let it go. They figured, you know, they weren't out unless they were the star of the game, and naturally, if he's a teammate of yours, it's a little easier to do Mike Schmidt as a future Hall of Fame third baseman if he got the game-winning hit, but doing the opposition was tough.
Could you imagine now? All right, Cardinals win or lose. Let's say they lost. Let's go down to Matt Carpenter, who's standing by with Odubel Herrera. I mean, there's no chance of that happening.
I know it's weird, but it's a fact.
Wow.
You can look it up, partner.
That's unbelievable. There's some things when you say they're unbelievable, that truly is unbelievable.
That is unbelievable. It only happened from September 1st on, but still, it was a month of the season.
And a key month.
When the Phillies clinched the next to the last day of the season.
You say the Phillies, that's your team.
I was on the Phillies,
yeah.
Yes. I was traded to the Phillies in 1970, and then to Montreal, and then back with the Cardinals in 73 and 4. Short stint with Boston, and then the Carlton thing started, and I caught lefty for 5 years, my last 5 years. Then went into broadcasting in 1980, and Bill Giles approached me and actually paid me a $5,000 stipend, which was a lot of money in those days, to do it. And awesome. I said, of course I'll do it.
Right.
I need the money. But they had to clear that through Dallas Green, who was a stickler for none of that stuff like that to happen.
That kind of thing.
Oh gosh, he hated that stuff. But it was okay for him, with me, for whatever reason.
It's great.
It's weird, but it sure was fun.
We should try to bring that back. We'll see if we can get a current player to start interviewing guys.
Be fine by me.
The 2-2 hit down the right field line, but foul. By the way, Jim Hayes certainly does not approve of what we're talking about. There's a thing called job security.
Yes, understood. Understood.
Yeah, they would probably get better interviews, but I'm against it, Dan.
I can understand why.
Totally against that.
Jimmy, you're too good at what you do. You don't have to worry.
You're too kind. That stuff from Tim, though, is unbelievable. Players in uniform.
Can you imagine?
I can't imagine it. It's unbelievable.
You know the guys well. Who would be a good guy right now if we said, hey, go interview Odubel Herrera after the game? You think anybody would do it?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. They'd look at you like you're crazy.
Particularly for a team fighting for the pennant.
That's the amazing part. You're not in last place.
It really is. If you're in last place, it would have been a fun, fling type deal.
Yeah. Only with McCarver. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, and that's now a career high in strikeouts, 10 for Jack Flaherty.
Well, you talk about a determined effort from Flaherty. That breaking ball has been unbelievable. We talked about it in the opening. Next to Carlos Martinez, Ryan Flaherty, the best slider on the staff. He's showing it today.
So 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, 2-1 Cardinals.
Jack Flaherty, I beg your pardon.
Hoskins with a home run put the Phillies on top in the 4th. That was their first hit. And that's all they've had. Flaherty has struck out 10, walked 1 hit. Numbers on Flaherty's slider this year. Opposition hitting just 150 against it. See some uncomfortable swings against that pitch here today. Got on the reach. Yep. And a fly ball to Pham. And Flaherty is through 6.
You make them reach, you take away the power. No doing that. I don't know what you call that, but no braiding hair during a game.
Got to pay attention.
Right. Something you want to do always at the ball game anyway is pay attention.
Here's Tyler O'Neill. At 2-1 our score. O'Neill, a big swing. I would imagine that the bat in his hands feels like a toothpick. Bench press is 400 pounds. Great physical condition. He whips the bat.
You said something in yesterday's game. I didn't realize his father was a weightlifter.
Mr. Canada.
In Mr. Canada.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Told me he was, I think, 5'8" and had something like 4% body fat or something like that.
Like father, like son.
You bet. A lot of fans were really excited to watch him in spring training. I was. Cardinals acquired him in the Gonzalez deal, hit a bunch of home runs down the stretch from Memphis. Then he got hurt in spring. We didn't see the best of him. Got healthy before the opener for Memphis and just went on a tear. And in particular, home runs. Two balls, two strikes on O'Neill. High fly ball lifted out to left center. Will it carry? At the wall, gone! Tyler O'Neill, second major league home run.
This city is unbelievable. It seems like more stars are born in a St. Louis Cardinal uniform out of nowhere. Second major league home run and second in as many days. Looked like a changeup from Nola.
That
Kidding
swing
me?
shows how strong he is. That was almost a one-arm swing.
That's right.
Because he's out in front with a changeup.
Yeah.
It's another two-strike hit.
Yesterday with two hands, today with one.
Right. Boy, that's strong there. Wow.
We also talked in yesterday's game about how with teams with injured players, what an opportunity it presents for younger players. And perhaps, obviously, 2 home runs do not make.
Fowler racing to the bag and safe.
Do not make a career or a season. But it's a pretty good start for Tyler O'Neill.
You bet.
Second home run in 2 days.
Tim, that's now 15 home runs this year combined with St. Louis and Memphis. 15 already. It's another 2-strike hit for the Cardinals. That's 6 of their 7 hits have come with 2 strikes. The BJC Healthcare difference maker. Fowler was going to get in a rundown or at least avoid the tag. Turned into an error. A run would score, and then Greg Garcia, base hit to drive in Fowler, the BJC Healthcare difference maker. So 15 home runs combined. Memphis, now St. Louis. Just something about power in the game of baseball, really any sport, but certainly baseball. Fun to watch. Power pitching, a power arm from right field. deep in the hole, the shortstop power arm to throw it to first and power at the plate.
And there are very few times that you can include weightlifting into the power schedule of a hitter, because it's a different deal. You know, most weightlifters are not, they don't have the muscles to extend. Baseball muscles are long and strong, not bulked and strong.
Flexibility.
Flexibility, yes. Serves players well defensively, from a throwing standpoint, from a hitting standpoint.
Fowler is running, swung on and missed, throw to second and safe. Must have avoided that tag because the throw certainly beat him.
A strong throw from Alfaro. It was a little high, but the tag was made on the chest, perhaps, where the left hand was in there. Ten seconds has elapsed.
And they will challenge. Fowler coming into play today with 2 steals, 2 caught stealing as well.
Really a weird situation. Colton Wong went down to talk to Jose Oquendo, and now he's kind of staying about a third of the way to third base because he doesn't know what the reading's going to be by the umpires. Now he's back to home plate. It's so odd. Wong going down, and you're sure, or at least we are, he's going down to ask if he should bunt or not. But obviously if Fowler's out, there's no bunt. Watch the tag in the chest instead of the arm.
There, I think he's safe.
I do too.
And it's very tough to tell whether or not the glove would graze the jersey. Better look here. Well, I don't know.
I say safe.
And again, it's one replay I think safe. The other one I thought, he might be out. Tough to tell.
I don't know. I still have a problem with this, where technology and not players have more to do with the direction of a game. Looked like they got the call right.
I would agree.
Now what does Wong do? Does he bunt here? If you're going to bunt the ball to first base and make him throw, if that's what Santana elects to do.
2 minutes 24 seconds on the review, and the bunt is down perfectly by Wong. Advancing to third, Fowler. Pitch count at 91 for Aaron Nola. Victor Arano is getting loose in their pen. Greg Garcia coming up at the plate, and again for the second time infield drawn in for Greg Garcia. It's a big run there. And the first pitch, a ball. Doesn't get the call. 2-0.
Sometimes it's tough to hit when they're pitching around you. Because if you get a hit, the reason they pitch around him is you have a right-handed batter, slow runner on deck. The reason they pitch around him is for that reason. You get a lot of very close calls.
And a strike. Jack Flaherty has been outstanding here today. Career high in strikeouts, 10, only 1 hit allowed. That was a home run. Also career high in innings. Garcia, little flare out to left. Fowler will tag up. The throw to the plate won't be in time. Dexter scores, and it's 4-1. Greg Garcia has driven in 2. Good baseball there.
Another good job by Garcia. Hits it deep enough to score Fowler on a curveball.
Well, you just don't see it very often. A base hit, a steal, a bunt, sac fly.
If you're going to see it, you see it in the National League,
yeah,
not the American League.
Now brings in Pena with 2 outs. For Nola, most runs he's allowed in his last 14 starts dating back to last season. So who would have thought in this series the Cardinals would not Jake Arrieta out after 3 innings and then get to Nola with the most runs he's allowed dating back to last year.
They're 2 top starters.
Pena rips it foul.
Not saying this game's in hand by any means, but they have handled Arrieta and Nola with aplomb.
And the 0-2. A liner caught at third. Cardinals pick up 2. Add to their lead. Tyler O'Neill got it started with this home run. He's second in the big leagues. 4-1 Cardinals. highlights from today's ball game here at Busch Stadium. 4-1 our score. Jack Flaherty, tremendous here today. Career high in innings in terms of a start, and the strikeouts at 10. He's retired 18 of 20 that he has seen. Tyler O'Neill with the home run, his second. 98 pitches is the career high for Flaherty. He's at 90, so this could be his final inning of work. Now you say that depending on how things, unfold here. And also with maybe a little uncertainty in the back end of the bullpen on who's available today.
Sure.
So that goes all into the equation for Mike Matheny. Here's Herrera, who is 0 for 2, trying to extend his on-base streak to 46 consecutive games. Struck out, grounded out. He was ahead in the count 3-0 back in the 4th, and then grounded out to second base. And the 0-1 pitch. And that round of applause you hear is for a fan that was struck on the face. The foul ball. So our thoughts and prayers to that gentleman. Here's a 1-1. Breaking pitch and a beauty. It's good stuff right there.
That breaking ball continues to be sharp.
Two and two. Jack Flaherty was teammates with two others that are pitching now in Major League Baseball. High draft choices. His high school in Los Angeles, and many believed he was the best of the three. Wonder how that team ever lost in high school. Ooh, doesn't get the call. 3-2. Good pitch, tied him up.
So much confidence he has in that breaking ball to throw it on a 3-2 count with a 3-run lead.
And the 3-2 pitch. Fly ball. Shallow left. And out of play. Well, you got a glove or you can use your hat. Caught it with his hat. Then gave it away.
Hats off to that Cardinal fan.
No pun intended, right?
No pun intended.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Either way.
Still was an awful line.
Thank you. We strive for honesty.
Herrera has seen 17 pitches today. Got him. Struck him out. 11 for Flaherty.
18 pitches and an 0 for 3 for a guy who's trying to reach base one more time. Flaherty gets him.
His streak may come to a close today.
Maybe. He'll probably hit another time. I mean, got to retire the last 8 guys in order for Herrera not to be able to hit in the 9th inning.
So 1 out, and the batter is Carlos Santana, struck out and walked. You just tuned in. Jack Flaherty tossing a one-hitter, that one hit home run back in the 4th. Career high 11 strikeouts. His career high in pitches 99, and here's number 100. His spot is due up first for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 7th.
And nobody warming up for the Cardinals.
One of your keys to the game. Flaherty, go deep. He's going to do that. The 2-1. Right center, Tommy Pham. Oh, he's got it as Fowler came in late.
Tommy Pham in front of Fowler. Dexter made sure he went behind him. Seen situations like that that could be very dangerous. But fortunately, Fowler, and you could see Tommy Pham looking back as though, boy, that was a surprise.
Yeah, that ball was routine too.
So, yeah, sometimes you yell for those balls, and perhaps the other outfielder, Fowler in this case, couldn't hear him. But no collision.
So 2 outs. Alfaro, a swing and a miss.
Alfaro having the toughest time with the slider of Jack Flaherty today. That last strikeout, he struck out 2 times, and the last one had to be 6 inches outside.
After the walk to Santana in the 4th, he's retired 9 straight. Started the game off as he retired 10 in a row. 1 ball, 1 strike. We've seen Flaherty pitch well, but nothing like this.
No.
Just outstanding here today. And a fly ball to left. Jack Flaherty is through 7 with 11 strikeouts and 1 hit allowed. Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, going further so you can. Jack Flaherty is due up first, and he's at the on-deck circle. He's about to get a huge ovation. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. You know, we were talking about it during the break. I said, boy, I'd be tempted to send him back out there. And you said, why not?
Why not is right. And you never see this in baseball. Tough play, good play by Hernandez. You never see, if you're going to take it, the pitcher's done a good job. It's the late innings. He's leading off the inning. You send him out there, and then to get the applause, send up the pinch hitter. Can you do that? I think you can do that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it'd be kind of a nice thing and give a crowd a chance to give him the applause that he deserves. But because otherwise he wouldn't get it.
That's right. Chevy called to the pen. Victor Arano. Tommy Pham hitless today. He's over 3. In recent Cardinals history, to start by a rookie like this, he's given up just 1 hit, struck out 11. As Pham strikes out. Shelby Miller gave up a base hit to Eric Young Jr. of the Rockies to start the game. And then it was 27 up, 27 down.
Wow.
So Shelby did that.
When was that? What, 3 or 4 years ago?
It's probably 6, I would imagine.
6?
And then Michael Wacha, he was called up at the end of 2013. And he had a no-hitter on the line with Ryan Zimmerman up, 2 outs in the 9th. And Zimmerman hit a high chopper that just got over his glove.
Infield hit?
Infield hit.
I'll be darned.
And it broke up the no-hitter.
I remember that.
And Pete Kozma did everything he could to try to retire him, but there's no argument. He was safe and broke up the no-hitter. Here's Carpenter, and he pops it up. Franco over and out of play. His season high in pitches, by the way, was 113, while in Memphis, that was May 9th, he had 13 strikeouts in a game at Oklahoma City.
Well, I mean, common sense is not always used in Major League Baseball, to the dismay of some.
That's driven out to right center. A base hit for Carpenter, thinking 2 on his way to second. Sliding in head first with another double.
There's where that defense of the Phillies burned them, having Herrera into left center field. Of course, and deep. Of course, Carpenter is doubled in this series to left center field. But look how far Herrera has to run. If he's straight away, that ball's caught easily.
Our crowd today, 43,560, 43560. Here's Jose Martinez, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and fly to right.
Another big day at the plate for Matt Carpenter.
Just looks different at the plate.
He sure does.
He's now 10 for his last 20. You know, and you think about where he was just a few days ago, where Mike Matheny late in a game pinch hit for Carpenter. And one of, I'm sure, his toughest decisions that he's had to make as a manager. They're human beings. It's a long season. You've got to tell the player why you made the move the next day, usually. Not always, but usually. and since then he's been on a tear.
Well, the guys in our truck who are always on top of things just told me on the headset that Matt Carpenter has raised his average 54 points in the last 5 games.
You sleep a little better at night, huh?
Yeah.
From 140 to 194. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Martinez puts it in play. Base hit into right. Carpenter will score. What a job of 2-strike hitting by Jose Martinez to make it 5-1 Cardinals.
We're going to freeze the camera on contact and watch this swing. Rear end out, arms extended. Remember, he's 6'7", base hit to right field. That's something you can't teach right there.
It's plate coverage.
I mean,
ball in play.
Gosh.
And that's a base hit. O'Neill, 3rd hit of the day. It's also a challenge for a manager. You have veterans who might be struggling, and then a young man comes up and he's hitting, finding him at bats, keeping him in that lineup.
Well, it's an amazing thing what competition can do.
Oh boy.
For position players and pitchers. Mike Matheny inwardly has got to love this. Everything that's happening in this game.
Just thinking that he couldn't draw this up any better. Here's a 1-0 to Fowler. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals have done a lot of little things right today too. Base running.
And little things are big things. You find out in Major League Baseball, a lot of people, start talking about little things, and then you say, wait a minute, those things won the game.
Right.
Those are pretty. They went from little to big in a hurry.
O'Neill and Fowler combined have reached 5 times, scored 4 runs. And maybe even more with Fowler at the plate, O'Neill at first. The 2-2. And the runner's off now with the next pitch. Ball in the gap, could score 2. Cardinals needed a big start. Pitcher to go deep into a game, and they've gotten that from Flaherty today. 3-2 pitch. Fowler hits it down the right field line, but yanks it foul.
You compare that to some of those we talked about, those lazy swings with the fly ball going the other way, to a real top hand hammering of the ball, and that's what Dexter Fowler just did. Albeit, a foul ball, but you get the idea.
Yeah. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. The Phillies will have Altair, Franco, and Kingery coming up in the 8th. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. The 3-2. The shallow left center. Cardinals tack on a run. Good piece of hitting by Martinez. It's 5-1, and Flaherty has been sensational. He heads back out for the 8th. One for the Phillies. Jed Jerko at third base for St. Louis. Matt Carpenter shifting from third to first. And Jack Flaherty pitching a gem. We're in the 8th. Pitch count at 106. Altera struck out twice. Flaherty just one hit allowed. It was a home run. Put the Phillies on top in the 4th, 1-0. He walked a man in that inning, and that has been all the offense today for the Phils. Base hit into left. Mike Myers has been up in the bullpen. So he's loose and ready when the Cardinals decide enough is enough. Michael Franco has had a lot of hitters on their front foot and reaching, and you think about that in this spot to get a ground ball and a double play. Good example right there. Hit out of play. May have gotten away with that pitch. Sunday, June 3rd, Christian Day at the ballpark. Featured speaker will be Willie McGee, presented by Thrivent Financial. Cardinals.com/Christian Day. Franco has been quiet in the series. 1 hit, 1 for 10. If you're wondering, he's grounded into a team high 5 double plays. Oh, and 2. About that slider and get him to reach.
I was thinking the same thing. He's usually backed up that fastball inside to that slider away.
There it was. Gets a strikeout instead, and that's 12 today.
That combo, the fastball inside, fouled off, And that just opens up that outside part of the plate.
Well, if you're a Cardinal fan, how can you not be excited watching this?
That's really true.
Alex Reyes coming.
Yeah, yeah. Talk about playing for the come.
There's a strike. The 12 strikeouts, the most by a Cardinal in 2018. Inside. Scott Kingery grounded to short and struck out back in inning number 5. The 1-1.
Laid off the slider in the dirt, but the impressive thing is how Flaherty has enticed the Phillies to go after balls in the strike zone. So that means he's not readable. His stuff's not readable. Can't square him up. A lot of things because of that. They're not picking the ball up properly.
Pulled foul. Jordan Hicks, by the way, joins Myers in the pen.
Excuse me, Dan, but all of those things are all favor the pitcher. You know, not to be picked up like that. The slider out there, I can't pick this guy up. Guys say that. That's really a good sign for a young pitcher like Flaherty or any pitcher.
I would say with that slider for sure with some of the swings we've seen today.
Yeah. The hitters will tell you whether they can pick a guy up or not.
The 2-2 pitch. Remember, Jordan Hicks appeared in the game yesterday, hit 103 on the gun, only threw 12 pitches. So you would like to think he'd be fine today. 117, most by a Cardinal pitcher this year in terms of pitches thrown in a game. The 2-2. This may be his final hitter one way or another. The 3-2 pitch. Pena could not hold on. Just about every pitch, Mike Matheny, Mike Maddox talking about it. Okay, what are you seeing? Do we do it after this hitter? Can we squeeze one more? 3-2. Struck him out. 13 strikeouts today. I think that may be it. Mike Matheny debating whether or not to go to his pen.
The thing about pitch count is that there are pitchers that on certain days are stronger than others, so they can pitch. Certain pitchers have different muscle types. They can pitch 10 more pitches than the metric system says, but anyway, a great day for a young pitcher.
It's loud, and it's about to get louder.
Yep. justified that won the Preakness yesterday didn't get an applause like this.
Day for Jack Flaherty in Cardinals history. Dick Hughes, Shelby Miller, Scipio Spinks. 13 strikeouts. And 100 miles an hour to Nick Williams, who's been the top pinch hitter this year for the Phillies. 7 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 13 strikeouts. Alan Bennett's the last Cardinals pitcher to throw 120 pitches or more in his first 10 starts in the big leagues. Jordan Hicks or Chevy called to the pen. Two and one. It's a great shot there. Cardinal legend on the left and Adam Wainwright, one of the young stars of the Cardinals rotation. Jack Flaherty.
Great bookends there, huh?
Mm-hmm. The 2-1 pitch to Nick Williams. 2-2. Again, 100 from Hicks. Hyundai pitch arsenal on the young flamethrower. The Cardinals fastball 77% of the time. We're talking to some of the folks with the Phillies, and they came away, let's just say, quite impressed watching Hicks yesterday. Ball just explodes out of his hand like that. Ground ball right into the game. Jed Jerko, and he makes the play to Carpenter over at first. This day's about Jack Flaherty with his 13 strikeouts. App where you can grab 100% MLB verified tickets until the first pitch. Sell your extras to another fan. Get the StubHub app today. StubHub, an official partner of yours St. Louis Cardinals. 5-1 our score. Jack Flaherty with 13 strikeouts. And Hector Neris is into the ball game. First time we've seen him in the 4-game series.
Dan, you have rattled some memories, for me at least. The time that Dick Hughes struck out 13 as a rookie, 28-year-old rookie, was May 30th, 1967 in Cincinnati. And I'm going to tell you how that game was lost. He was pitching a perfect game through 7 1/3. Check swing double by Vada Pinson. We were leading 1-0 at the time. Check swing double. Tony Perez with a triple. They scored Tony Perez. Cincinnati's leading 2-1 going into the top of the 9th inning.
1 ball, 1 strike on Colton Wong.
Cepeda, base hit. McCarver, base hit. First and third for the Cardinals, nobody out. Jim Maloney was taken out of the game. Don Martin, Notabart, a sinker baller, was brought into the game. Phil Gagliano, a pinch hitter. 1 hopper to Leo Cardenas, who looked Cepeda back at third. That gave me a chance to get on top of Helms. I hit him hard, but he got the throw away. And he threw it to Darren Johnson at first. Cepeda broke late, thrown out at home. The triple play ends the game. Ends the game.
With first and third and nobody out.
First and third, nobody out. Cepeda, the Cardinals made a great play looking him back to third. I hit Helms into left field, but he got the throw away. I don't know how. And Phil Gagliano was thrown out at first, and Cepeda broke late. Triple play ends the game. We lose the game 2-1. That was when Dick Hughes had the 13 strikeouts.
Garcia retired, and you're thinking, what just happened?
On May 30th, 1967. That put us into second place, by the way.
Is that right?
We were a half game behind Cincinnati after that game.
Time of game, take a guess.
Of that game?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
1 hour, 55 minutes.
Get out of here.
1 hour, 55 minutes.
Double rain delay in that game.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So game time 1:55. Total time at the ballpark probably
3.5 hours, something like that.
Kind of like a game today.
But it was a lot longer for us.
I bet.
Ending the game with a triple play.
I bet.
Man.
Funny game, isn't it?
It really is.
You know, we should give Francisco Pena credit too. Behind the plate today, catching. You know, catchers get overlooked, as you know, when a pitcher has a big day, but they take great pride in that.
You better believe it. Might be over at the plate, but he's not behind the plate.
No. He does a very nice job.
Yeah, absolutely.
One ball, 2 strikes on Francisco Pena. And he's saying he got a piece of it, but to no avail. So a strikeout of Pena, and that'll send us to the 9th inning. And Ricky, there's the future, and I guess the future is now. When you think about Luke Weaver, Reyes, Waka, Flaherty, all talking there. Jordan Hicks still in the ball game, trying to get the final 3 outs. 5-1 our score. One and one. Here's a 1-1.
I don't think I've ever seen Tommy Pham play any hitter as shallow as he is right now.
Shallow and right too. The 2-1 pitch to Cesar Hernandez. Odubel Herrera, by the way, is due up third. He has not reached base, trying to make it 46 straight. The 2-2.
No walks. If you have to run the ball up there and put it on a tee for Hernandez, it's what you do. No walks. Got a 4-run lead.
Watch Hicks, and not a lot of emotion even after a big strikeout or a big play, or something that goes poorly behind him, which hasn't been often. Very stoic. The story today, Jack Flaherty. 2 hits, 13 strikeouts in 7 2/3. It's another 3-2 pitch. It's another souvenir.
Got to be impressed with a guy like Cesar Hernandez too. I mean, a guy who takes 2 strikes in this at bat, knowing he'll foul a ball off, try to entice a walk for his team. It's a real team play when you do that.
And he walked him. So the leadoff walk. June 3rd, that's a Sunday. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a unique bobblehead. Former Cardinal pitcher Chris Carpenter. It's a Prairie Farms Ice Cream Sunday. And the final day of the Ritz kickoff to summer weekend. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Cardinals playing host to the Royals tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 6:30. Miles Michaelis and Ian Kennedy. Backhanded. Out there. Out there. Double play. 6-4-3.
How about that double play? Garcia with the perfect feed after that perfect play to make the play. Oh, yeah. Talk about body language. He had it on the mound and in the dugout.
After the final out, the Cardinals, if they pick up the win, Jim Hayes will go directly to the field, and he'll have a visit with Jack Flaherty.
That was among best double plays turned by the Cardinals this year.
No doubt. And now Herrera. Strike one. 104 on the gun. Wow. I have never seen that.
Trevor Rosenthal didn't get up to 104. I don't believe so.
That was 104.2 on the gun. I have never seen that. The 0-1. 105. Crowd is oohing and ahhing, and even his teammates are saying, "You got to be kidding me." 105? Are you kidding me?
Now this is good old Texas hardball right
Oh,
here,
I'd
folks.
say so. The 1-1. A lot of swings against the fastball. That's at 104 today and yesterday. Major league hitters aren't catching up. I mean, a lot of lazy fly balls and foul balls.
Yeah.
Flaherty in line for the win, which would be his first ever in the big leagues. Hicks trying to stop the streak of Herrera at 45. And the Cardinals trying to earn a split. The 1-2 pitch. 105 on the gun again. Look, I mean, the players are laughing about it.
I know it. And all the rest of the Phillies team are happy that they're not hitting right.
I don't blame them.
Herrera trying to go 46 in a row of being on base. It's against a tough guy.
Hicks just staring him down, waiting for him to get in the box. The 1-2 pitch. It is a strike. It gets away from Pena. The throw offline, and Herrera does reach base.
I guess that counts too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's now extended with a strikeout
See,
in
what
the bottom of the ninth, or top
probably
of the
happened,
ninth.
I think Hunter Wintelstedt called it a swing and Pena heard it, but Herrera didn't. He went too far. Wintelstedt got the sign, and then Herrera ran, and almost too late.
And so the ball game extended to Santana.
How about that?
Something's wrong with Hicks. He only hit 101. He's hit 105 on the gun, folks. I'm assuming you had never seen that.
I've never seen that. No, no. Rollis Chapman hit 105. I think in a game that we did, a network game several years ago. I'm not sure.
He's the only one I can think of that would be close.
Of all the meetings on the mound this year, that was the most appropriate.
Calm him down.
Yeah, Jordan, just take it easy. Big league game, get back to it. And that was Jed Jerko that called that. And it was a good call.
2 balls, no strikes.
I don't know. That doesn't seem to me that it should count as a guy getting on base for a consecutive on base streak. Strike him out and then reaching first on a, but I guess it does. And
yeah, you're thinking more hit, walk, hit by pitch,
hit by
something
pitch,
offensive.
Yeah, even a hit putting the ball in play and it's an error or something like that. But it counts.
Two and two. So again, the Phillies down to their final strike. The 2-2 pitch. 3-2. So we got the strikeout of Herrera, now a walk. Mike Maddox out to visit. Mike Myers back on the hill in the bullpen. You're one batter away from having the tying run come to the plate.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, and that's the one thing you don't want to do against a team that is very capable throughout the lineup of tying a game with the long ball. Tough for a pitching coach in a situation like this. I mean, you don't want to say to let up. You don't want to tell Hicks to let up just to throw a strike and make it in that home run area. And yet you want him to throw strikes. It's tough.
Alfaro will be the batter. Tim mentioned earlier his struggles with the slider. Primarily it's been fastball from Hicks, but he has a very good slider. So 2 outs and 2 on here in the top of the 9th.
There it was.
And sometimes you've seen it a million times where the catcher will call that pitch to get away from the fastball
to
and just
get you back in the groove with the other pitch. That's right. It's the first slider he's thrown.
The 0-1, little bouncer hit up the middle. Wong gloves, tough play. Cardinals under split, and Jack Flaherty has his first ever major league win.
Think about the defense in the 9th inning. The play by Greg Garcia, great turn by Wong, and now this play to end it by Wong.
Everything for the most part went right today.
I was thinking, you know, what an encouraging day this is for the Cardinals.
Good way to put it.
One of the more encouraging days of the year, I think.
And this certainly helps when you get starting pitching like this. 7 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, a homer, a walk, but 13 strikeouts to tie the Cardinals rookie record. Most strikeouts in a ball game. The Budweiser plays of the game, and we look at the most strikeouts by a rookie. Cardinals single game all time, and Jack Flaherty is now tied with Dick Hughes, Shelby Miller, and Scipio Spinks. Jim Hayes is downstairs, and he's standing by with Jack Flaherty. Jimmy, take it away.
First major league win for Jack Flaherty. First major league win. How does that sound?
It's just good to get a win anytime. It doesn't matter, you know, first one, whatever. It's always nice to come away with a win at the end of the day.
Everything was working for you today, particularly the slider, 6 strikeouts with the slider. Why do you think you were so effective today?
I just think me and Pena got into a rhythm and we kind of got things rolling, and you know, we just got into a rhythm and he called a really good game. I was able to execute.
You give up the home run to Hoskins and move right past it. How important was that to put behind you quickly?
Well, it's obviously important. You know, I made a mistake. He put a good swing on it, and but just being able to move past it and being able to keep moving and moving on with the game was good.
120 pitches. That's a lot of pitches. How comfortable were you at the tail end of your appearance?
Well, I didn't want to come out of the game, and you know, he asked me how I was doing, and I just kind of gave him a look like I'm good, and you know, he let me go. So, but it's just nice to, you know, come away with a win at the end of the day.
You come out of the game, great reception from the fans and your teammates. How nice was that?
We got best fans in the world, so you know, just to hear from them, it's always awesome. You know, best fans in the world, so it's great.
Great outing. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
All right, Danny. Jack Flaherty.
All right, Jimmy, good stuff. Congratulations to Jack Flaherty. First major league win. First major league hit. and 13 strikeouts. What a day. 5-1 the final post game next.